Good afternoon, baseball fans, and welcome back here to the Gus. Gerald E. Thompson Field, officially it's known as. We call it the Gus around here in Waupun. Glad you're able to join us here for this game of undefeateds, as it's going to be between Tomah, post 201, and the LaCrosse A's, post 52. And I never finished filling in the book for LaCrosse, so I'll have to work on getting that done here as well. Tomah will be the visiting team. LaCrosse will be the home team. Umpires for today's game. Is that Randy Bresser on the bases? Bresser is on the bases, and then that's Tim Haldeman behind the plate. I lost my assistants as they had other plans for this evening, so I'm going to be swinging this alone. I'm used to doing that anyway, so we will figure out how to make it work. It's a little bit earlier than we expected to get started, but that's okay. We wanted to make sure that some of us can still get home at a respectable time. 8, Cullen Sackman. So leading things off for Tomah is going to be number 9, Blake Hahn. On deck will be number 21, Gunnar Wopat, and in the hole will be number 24, Tucker Franson. Trying to finish filling in my roster here for LaCrosse. Pitching for LaCrosse, it's going to be number 27, Waylon Hargrove. And catching will be number 3, Jacob Thornton. Rosters, I don't think we're in there yet.
Yeah, I just exited out of the last one. It was head-to-head versus Tomah LaCrosse. But how do you switch?
Getting ready here to start the game, so bear with me as I make sure that I'm still writing stuff down here for LaCrosse. Throws coming down as we're getting ready here for the first official pitch for this game. Not a ton, I would say, riding on this game. Yeah, you want to have the bragging rights, but as is, we pretty much know who's playing who. We just don't know the times yet because it all will depend upon the winner here. So here comes the first pitch from Hargrove. High for a ball. 1-0. Starting at 417. 82 degrees. Not much breeze here in Waupun. In the dirt, that'll be ball 2. 2-0 to Hahn. Again, I've been impressed with both of these teams watching them. I really have been impressed with every team that's played here. I like the story behind Tomah. That's in there for a strike. 2-1. Always cheering for the smaller schools. That's where I spent most of my career as an administrator and a teacher. Was on the phone. Never gave it back, right? And drawing the walk is Hahn for Tomah on 5 pitches. Yeah. Hargrove comes set. Here's the pitch. Fouled off there by Wopat. I think Gunnar is the starting pitcher today for Tomah. There's the pitch. A little bit low, 1-1. The one thing you will notice, though, Haldeman will do late calls on the strike, so if you don't hear it, can't assume that we know what it is either, so just hang tight. Hit on the ground, foul to the third base side. Makes it 1-2. Hahn's going to end up going back over to first. Let's talk about how Tomah got here. They won their first game over Germantown 10-0. That's the first team that had a 10-run rule in the opening round of 4 games. And then they beat Beloit last night in a barn burner 6-5 to advance. LaCrosse beat Seymour 5-4, so by 1 run. And then beat Wittenberg in last night 12-4. Wittenberg has won. They've moved over. They will be playing tomorrow. Seymour won. They will be playing tomorrow. Hit on the ground with a hit and run. Good call. Picked up there by the second baseman. Throws it away, and now the runners are going to advance. Trying to pick it up. Nobody covering at home. And Hahn comes over, gets all the way over to third on the error. So it's a base hit. Well, I got to wait till infield hit and runners advance on the E4 throw. That's I thought would be the call. So nobody out, runners at second and third, and that brings up your number 3 hitter, number 24, Tucker Franson. Steffel on deck. Here comes the pitch. Hit up in the air. Should be deep enough to score the run. Good catch there by LaCrosse, but tagging will be Hahn, and they're going to draw first blood. And the runner still is going to advance in Wopat over to third. So it's still a runner in position with only 1 out. So Franson did his job. Deep hit, good coverage there, speed in the outfield there by LaCrosse. Hargrove ready to deal here for LaCrosse. That's going to be hit the opposite way through the gap, and that's going to score another run. A beautiful base hit there for Steffel. Jackson Kunitz coming up next. And Tomah continues their hit parade. They've been doing a great job of hitting the ball all tournament. Kunitz will be the left fielder for Tomah. Hargrove trying to get out of it. Big lead over there at first in the dirt. Good block there by Thornton. Jacob Thornton, the catcher for LaCrosse. LaCrosse isn't going to panic here with 2 runs being up. They've got a good offensive attack as well. Here's the pitch on the outside for a strike. Kunitz didn't agree with it. I guess it's kind of a big stretch out there. Big lead again, throws back in. Hargrove fired it over to the first baseman, Kyle White, for LaCrosse. Got this early start here. Thought we'd have a lot more on the channel. Takes off, throw down on 1 hop. Got him! Out! Nice throw there by Thornton to erase the stolen base. 2-6 on the putout. And the caught stealing for the second out. Doesn't surprise me that they're going to be aggressive here, but I've seen Thornton erasing runner after runner after runner. Down low, 3-1 to Kunitz. I don't recall. Is this Hargrove's first appearance as a pitcher? Yeah. In there for a strike, 3-2. I think it is. I don't recall seeing him pitch. And the pitcher for Tomah will be Wopat. I think he pitched yesterday.
He did. There were only 27 pitchers.
Yeah, 27. So he'll be back. But that'll do it. He cannot pitch on Monday, no matter how many he has, because that'll be 2 appearances over 3 days. So drawing the walk is Kunitz. Brings up Braden Pash. Fouled off Pash. Strike 1. 2 down. 2 runs already pushed across here for Tomah. These 2 teams really are not that far apart. Strike on the outside edge. I think maybe an hour, somewhere in there. Yeah, he does. Yeah, LaCrosse and Tomah are about an hour. Yeah. I just remember going when I was going to state dance for my daughter in LaCrosse. I knew that once I got to Tomah, I had about an hour to get into the facility and into the seat. 1-2 is the count now to Pash. Takes off. Here's the throw again by Thornton. Just a little bit too far up. And Kunitz is going to get the stolen base. Threw it just a little bit up the line. You can see Thornton is a little bit upset with himself. I'm sorry for not hitting that button. Still now 2-2 is the count to Pash. Here comes the pitch. Fouls that one off to stay alive. Still 2-2. On deck is going to be the DH, Gavin Courtney. He's DHing for the right fielder, Cam Brigham. There's the pitch. On the outside edge for a strikeout looking. So, again, we were talking a little bit about up here. Got a little bit of a wider strike zone. One left on. 1, 2. Scotty, did you have 2 hits?
Yes.
2 runs on 2 hits, 1 error, a throwing error, and 1 left on. After 1/2 complete, Tomah strikes right away and gets 2 runs up on the board. We'll be back here for LaCrosse's first at bat. You're listening to Jeff's Hour here on Jeff's live stream. We'll be back. Welcome back here to the bottom of the first inning. Pitching for Tomah is going to be Gunnar Wopat, and he's going to start out to number 8, Colin Sackman, with a ball. Here's the next pitch. Inside right there for a strike. 1-1. Here comes the pitch. Breaker did not break. Makes it 2-1. Well, you already know this, so I got a couple of big deals. Well, see, somebody told me, I'm sorry, Aaron, but do thank you. I appreciate it. I will change it to Han. I asked about it initially, and they told me it was Han, so I'll say Han. So, Scotty, it's Han for Blake. I want to make sure we get that stuff correct because they're going to go back. Gets hit. Sackman reaches by hit by pitch. Brings up Jacob Thornton, the catcher for LaCrosse. Interviewed that young man last night, was really impressed. He did a great job on LaCrosse's victory. He's done a good job behind the plate, blocking everything. Here's the pitch. Inside, runner takes off. Couldn't get the ball out of his hand. Was Cole Trapp, who's also done an amazing job behind the plate. Stolen base. Expect to see a lot of aggressive base running in the beginning. And that's what's happened with both these teams, but then all of a sudden stuff starts to shut down in the third, fourth, and fifth. So that happened in the last game as well. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. Hammered over to the second baseman off his glove. And the runner's going to hold at third. Runners at first and third.
They said for Thornton puts runners on the corners. Brings up first baseman Kyle White. David on deck.
Brings up number 4, Kyle White, first baseman for LaCrosse. Tomah players get themselves gathered here. Probably a little bit of a surprise that both runners have been on. LaCrosse won yesterday over Wittenberg 12-4 to get here. Turns to bunt, pulls back, fakes the throw, gets it right to the pitcher. So Thornton's going to get there on catcher indifference. Still counts as a stolen base. Now runners at second and third. Yeah, strike right down the middle. Here's the pitch. Outside for a strike, 0-2. Nobody out. LaCrosse just coming up to bat. 0-2 is the count. Here comes the pitch. A little bit low. 1-2. Nolan had his crystal ball. He already had that out there for him on 1-2 and just left it there. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle. That's going to be popped up. First baseman's calling for it. It's his. Gets the out. Tucker Franson. One down. Runners could not advance on the infield hit or a pop-up. F3 on the out. Here comes the pitch by Wopat. A little bit high and a little tight. Ball 1. Yeah. Here comes the pitch by Wopat. Inside. One of the things we did notice, that almost looked like it went between the 2 feet, 2 legs. LaCrosse loves to crowd the plate. They get right on top of it. 2-0. Here for Aiden David. There's the pitch. In there for a strike right on the inside edge. Raised it up a little bit, so 2-1. On deck is number 10, Landon Teachout. One down. Here's the pitch on the outside edge. Pounds it into the ground. Tough play. Third baseman picks it up, but no place to go with it. So Pash snagged it with a bare hand. It's going to be an infield hit for David and an RBI as the run's going to score from third. Runners now at first and second. Thornton had no place that there was no way he could get going there. He wasn't sure where the ball was going to go, so a good base running there to stay home. Runners now at first and second. Still one out. Landon Teachout at the plate. In there just a little bit low, ball 1. Isaac Shelfout is on deck. I don't think he thought because the shortstop came across to back up the third baseman. It's going to be hit on the screws up the middle. That's going to be a base hit and a potential RBI. Nope, good hustle there getting the ball in from Blake Hahn. So bases are loaded here for LaCrosse. Teach out with a single. Brings up number 9, Isaac Shelfout. Waylon Hargrove is on deck. He is the pitcher. LaCrosse is not using a designated hitter. Here's the pitch. High by Wopat. Ball 1. Tomah still with the lead. Here comes the pitch. Little bit high again, ball 2. It's right down the middle, but above the letters. Good lead over there at first. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge for a strike. Haldeman has a large strike zone, which is okay for me. I think that they should be swinging the bat up there. Kids just have to make the adjustments. 2-1 with 1 out. Breaking ball fouled off. Good pitch there. That had a nice movement. 2-2 to Teach out. Bases loaded. Conversation between Trapp and Wopat. Make sure they're on the same page. 2-2 with 1 out. Here comes the pitch. Hit right up the middle. Oh, almost a ricochet directly off of the gloves. That'll be a base hit. Good hard hit. And coming across is going to be Jacob Thornton scoring. Still leaves bases loaded. 1, 2, 3, 4 hits so far. Here comes the next pitch, tied at 2-2, right down the middle to the pitcher, Waylon Hargrove. Only 1 out. Bases loaded. Infield and the short side, 2 of them are in. Now the shortstop comes in a couple more steps. Trying to field it on the inside, trying to get the out at home on the force. A little bit of a breeze blowing out here. Heating up. Here comes the next pitch. Ball 2-1 to Hargrove. Colin Pittman is on deck. He'll be the number 8 hitter in the lineup. Here comes the pitch in there. Wopat, that's going to be hit hard in the gap. Past Tomah's center fielder. That's going to roll to the fence. That's going to put 3 in. Going for a triple. Slips. It's going to come back. Gets back in there for a double instead. So Hargrove, the pitcher, does a good job there. Slipped coming around second. And clears the bases. And there's still 5-0 and still only 1 out. 5-2. It's a good hit. Just checking to see. Coach is coming out to have a conversation. I didn't see it pop off. I just thought that he stepped on it. Yeah. No, when he was running, no, he just, stepped off of the edge or something. So making sure, again, we're going to be down here at the bottom of the first. I'm going to check that chat, so let us know the kids are going to come back and they're going to watch these games over and over for a long time. So you want to make sure that you have your shout-out in there for your favorite player, to the team you're cheering for. Let us know where you're watching from. I think Texas is the furthest I've seen so far today. Here's the pitch. A little bit low. 1-1 to Colin Pittman, the right fielder. Oh, it's 2-0. Sorry about that. Here's the pitch. Right on the outside edge. It is 2-1. Here comes the pitch by Wopat on the inside there for a strike. 2-2 to Pittman. Only one out, runner over at second. 5-2. You can see the score in your upper left hand. Both of these teams are undefeated. Breaking ball off of the mound. Second baseman grabs it, fires to one to get the out. Good hustle there by both. Pittman running hard down the line, but a good play there by the second baseman, Owen Wang, sorry about that. 4-3 on the putout. Brings up the number 9 hitter, Marcus Kalar. What the heck? Why is he doing that? Is that 30? Does he know? Oh, man, is he going to be mad? Why would he change him at 31? That takes him out of the game, or takes him from pitching tomorrow.
You can't throw tomorrow anyways. Is this the kid that has
Oh, yeah, that's what you're right. Second appearance. Yeah.
so he can't go until Tuesday anyways.
So why wouldn't you throw him at 45 then, right? Yeah. Well, that's true, but I don't think that that's much of a difference. I know I'm still on air, but I think LaCrosse is a good hitting team. We've seen them hit. They were stifled a little bit in the first game by Seymour, but Seymour's a dang good team too. So, new pitcher coming in.
So what did you say?
31.
Perfect, thank you.
Kind of. Wopat to short. And Kunitz is pitching. All right, we'll be back while Kunitz is warming up. We'll check that chat right now, and if you got this, give you a time. I'm not going to do the shout-outs yet till the end of the inning, so here's an opportunity to put that stuff in. We'll be back. Kunitz coming into pitch now. In there for a strike. Wopat cannot come back in the game, though, to pitch, right?
Because that would be his second appearance.
Right, that's what I was, yep,
Third appearance.
yep,
That'd be another appearance.
yep. 1-1 to Marcus Kalar. Sorry about that. Yep, he can, yep. Outside edge for a ball, 2-1. Got 2 outs. Nope. Hit up the middle, taking off, trying to get down the line. Good job there by the first baseman, Franson, to get the out. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 runs.
In the inning for the A's, they pick up 5 runs on 5 hits. They stranded one after one.
No errors and 1 left on. So 5 runs on 5 hits. No errors and 1 left on base after 1 complete. Your score 5-2. The LaCrosse A's from post 52 over Tomah post 201. Just double check and see what you've got thrown out there in the chat. So Zach Bush, shout out to Isaac Shelfout. Your fam from Michigan is cheering you on. That's good to hear. For the shortstop from LaCrosse. We'll be back after this. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Welcome back here to the Gus in Waupun. Try a new camera view here with a split screen. I knew I had the opportunity to do this, so we'll see what this does. You'll have to let me know if it's too busy. I've had that as a complaint before, or things were too small, couldn't see. Then I just say put it on the big screen TV, then you should be able to. Slaps that one to the second baseman. Takes the hop. Good play there. Turns and fires. That is an automatic instant replay there. And I just say put it on the big screen TV. Then you should be able Courtney to. Hit it over to the second baseman for the first out. Slaps that one to the second baseman. Takes the hop. Good play there. Turns and one down. Brings up number 7, Cole Trapp. The catcher. There's the pitch. Little bit high, ball 1. Hargrove still on the mound. Swing there by Trapp, just a little bit late. 1-1. Right down the middle for Trapp once again, 1-2. Don't think that I'm looking at this. It's not an overpowering fastball that I'm looking at, I don't think, for Hargrove. Shakes off the sign from the catcher, Thornton. High on that fastball. 2-2. I think Thornton was calling for the curveball, which is probably the right call with a 1-2. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off. Trapp able to catch up to it. Another fastball there by Hargrove. There's the pitch. High. 3-2. So Wopat exited in the last inning with Tomah for 31 pitches. It's already at a second appearance. He can't come back in. And a ball. Good base job of battling at the plate there for Trapp. Brings up number 18, Owen Wong. Second baseman here for Tomah, post 201. Here's the pitch. High and outside for a ball. Hargrove having a little bit of a challenge here the last couple of pitches, finding that strike zone. Jumped out ahead on Trapp. Typically they're an aggressive team. Fouls that one off. 1-1. Here's the pitch by Hargrove. Down low. 2-1. Down in the dirt. 3-1. Good lead over there for Trapp. 3-1. Draws the walk is Wing. 2 on now. Top of the order here, Blake Hahn. Coming up to bat, number 9. Had a walk and scored in the first inning. Left-handed hitter. Fouls that one off. I think it was a hit and run, at least over at second. Yeah, that's. Unless there was a missed sign or something. Here comes the pitch in to Hahn. Hit hard right up the middle. Base hit. Bobbled there by the center fielder. And they held the runner. Oh, man. Hit hard right up the middle. Base hit. Oh, I thought that was an opportunity. Bobbled there by the center fielder. And they held the runner. Oh, maybe that's man. Just me with my mentality to be aggressive here. We haven't seen him throw anybody out yet from back there.
He walked into third, so I don't think the coach held him.
Well, because he was like half going back to second. He didn't get a good jump.
Wow. Bases are loaded for Tomah. Ball 1 from Hargrove. It's going to be hit hard over the head of the left fielder. That will score. Oh, it bounced over, so it's only a double. I have not seen that happen here. Bounce over the fence? Oh, unreal. Wopat with an amazing hit, but ends up only with 2 runs coming across. That hard pan out here from not having any rain. Yeah, and we got rain the last night. Or yesterday we also had 2 a rain delay and a lightning delay. Wasn't enough to loosen up the soil.
Wow, that's a high fence.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter if it went under or over, but it went over.
Franson, Tucker Franson. Up to bat now. Strike 1 to Franson. I just think that they went out and had a conversation. Just keep throwing strikes. There's the pitch. Down the middle, through the legs of the first baseman. Snagged up there by the shortstop across the diamond. But 1 run scores. And the runners advance over to third, but an amazing play by the shortstop. First baseman snagged up there by the shortstop across the diamond. Just missed it. But 1 run. 6-3 on this putout for the second out. Steffel. Lines to the first baseman for the third out. 3 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on. No, 2 left on, right? No, 1 left on.
22 pitches for Hargrove, 46 total.
It is a tie game here after 1.5, 5-5. We'll be back here for the bottom of the second inning. We'll check that chat, see what you got going on out there. You're listening to Jeff's Hour here on Jeff's live stream. We'll be back. Welcome back here to the Gus in Waupun, 16U 2023 state tournament. American Legion baseball. Here's the pitch. 1-1 from Kunitz. To the top of the order, Colin Sackman. 2-1. Got hit by a pitch in the first and scored. Batted around the lineup. Here's the next pitch. Ball 3. Did I miss a pitch? Fouled off. 3-2, a full count. Must have. On the outside edge, draws the walk. On once again, he was hit by a pitch in the first inning and was able to score. Had a stolen base to get over to second. Take the force out of play. Here's the pitch. Right down the middle for a strike. To number 3, Jacob Thornton, the catcher for LaCrosse. Kyle White is on deck. Steps off. For a balk, advances. I don't know if the one behind the plate did. I heard the bench calling it. Did you? Yeah, out in the field. I heard him too. Yep. He's getting on the Tomah coach already. And I do think that there was some questionable stuff that was being said yesterday. Ball. 1-1 to Thornton. Runner over at second. Same situation as the first inning. Outside edge. 2-1. Jackson Kunitz on the mound for Tomah. Right there on the outside edge for a strike. 2-2. Thornton had a single and an RBI as Sackman was able to score off of that hit. Here comes the next pitch. High, lays off of it. Looked pretty good to him, but he was able to hold back on it. 3-2. Here comes the pitch. Outside, draws the walk. And he's on twice. Up to bat now is number 4, Kyle White, the first baseman for LaCrosse. Flew out to the first baseman. Breaking ball in there for a strike. Took a lot off of it. It's like a slurve almost. Here comes the pitch. Picks up the speed, throws it right down the middle, fouled off. 0-2. I didn't think it was even in play. Good hustle over there by the right fielder for Tomah. Cam Brigham almost ran that down. Final game of the day. We pretty much know who's playing who, no, regardless of what the outcome is. What the outcome will determine is who is at what time and in which part of the bracket, which will make a difference for one team here for sure. High, 1-2. Kunitz staying from the stretch. Not much of a hold over at first base, none at all. Here's the pitch. Slow curve in there again. That's going to be fouled off to the right-hand side, or hit to the right side. Good job there by the right fielder grabbing it, throwing it in quickly, dropping those sunglasses. For those who have not been here or played here before, the sun is right in your eyes at this time of day. So the first out. Did he? 1 out. Gotta love the in the dirt, blocked by Trapp. Good job of getting out of there. It's got to be a little tired too, playing catcher back to back to back. I don't think they're used to playing 3 days in a row. And everybody's going to say, oh, they're young, their bodies adjust. That's just not true. At least from my own experience with my son and teammates that he had. You still get sore coming back. You just heal a little bit quicker. That's in there for a strike. 1-2 to Aiden David, the hitter. Then a teach out on deck. Nobody out here yet for the A's. Hit on the ground. Good slow curve there again. Out in front of it was David. Runners off. Kunitz looks back, trying to hold him at second. Here's the pitch. Struck foul. Good job there by David reaching out and getting a hold of it. I don't know how he did it either, but didn't overswing, got a piece of it. Wasn't sure whether it was going to come in there for a strike, so I like the fact that he's out there protecting instead of just letting it go. Back to 1-2 count. Foul off that slow curve. Looks so tempting coming in there. Get way in front of it. It's that change of pace. Not sure why the coach took off after it. Here comes the pitch. High, 2-2. Yep, there is 1 out. That's okay. Yeah. 2-2 fouls that one off.
I just can't believe a 16-year-old kid's got to pull a kiss to the fan after he made a wobbly catch to start with.
Yeah. 2-2. Here's the pitch. Got him on that curve for a strikeout. Finally comes in there and gets the second out. Brings up number 10, Landon Teachout, left fielder for LaCrosse A's out of post 252.
I'm not sure who he's blowing a kiss to, the dugout or the fan, but he threw a kiss. Oh my God. Dude, play the game.
Tie game here, 5-5. Tomah scored 2 in the first. Good pitch in there again, that slow curve. Take a little bit to time it up. The A's put a 5 spot up in the first. Tomah answers. By putting a 3 spot back up here, still with 2 outs. Here's the pitch. Fouls that one off. Staying alive. 0-2 with 2 outs. No, 2 outs.
Oh, I'm sorry.
You're good. Hey, I have to. Always be encouraging. That's going to be popped up to the shortstop to get the out.
Hey, there's 3 outs now.
There we go. And he's got that on the board with 3 outs.
And they didn't get a run.
No runs.
Inning 4, LaCrosse, no runs, no hits.
No hits, no errors, and 2 left on. It is tied up here after 2. Let's double check and see what we got going on in the chat here. There we go. Zach Bush. Shout out to Isaac Shelfout. Your fam from Michigan. I think we had that one before. David Wagner. Tomah was living on the edge last night. They got out of 3 bases loaded jams. Yes, they did. Not to mention walking 9 and hitting 4 batters. They were due for an inning like that. Plenty of time to battle back, though. That is true. Cullen Sackman's fan club here in California. Go Yellow, number 8. So Sackman is the center fielder. And again, there's their winner there. So I'm glad you had a chance to join us here, Bridget, to watch this game. Joan Path says, go LaCrosse A's. Isaac Shelfout, number 9. We're listening from West Salem. That's good to hear. West Salem's had a good program. I know they beat Waupun in the state tournament for high school, Division II in 2017. My son, who was up here broadcasting the last game, Caleb, he played in that game, and we ended up having 2 errors by our third baseman, who had no errors the entire season, and 2 of those errors ended up costing us runs, and we ran out of time and lost that game. I think it was 9-8 or 9-7. We ended up losing that game to West Salem, but we were able to get back the next year and took the state title in 2018. But leading things off here for Tomah. Post 201 here in the top of the 3rd. Jackson Kunitz. Brandon Pash. In there for a pitch there by Hargrove. Oh, and 2 to Kunitz. Fouls that one off to stay alive. Good snag over there by the coach for Tomah. What do you think about the split screen here, folks? I'd like to know if you can still see it there while you're watching on your phones or computer screens, or we're on the big screen TV. That would look pretty decent. But if you'd rather have me drop to a different, tell me what your favorite camera shot is. Kind of like this one, so I don't have to flip back and forth as much, so I'm not missing anything. Especially when you're the camera person and the scorebook and announcing and producing all of those individual things. 1 and 2 to Kunitz. Hits on the ground over to the shortstop. Fields it cleanly. Fires across the diamond and gets the out to Kunitz. 6-3 on the putout for the first out. Brings up number 1, Brandon Pash. Third baseman on deck will be the DH, Gavin Courtney. Number 0, which really doesn't make sense because you can't, 0's not a number. So what did he just say? Uniform number? Nope, uniform 0? I can't use number. Hit on the ground. Second baseman makes the snag. Oh, bobble, still fires in time. Wow. What a play by the second baseman. Hit on the ground. Second baseman makes a snag. Oh, bobble, still then fires. Stays with it to get the bobble and the out. Wow. Yeah, sometimes, I've seen this happening all tournament long. Sometimes you give it for the effort. Not sure if he actually got the out. That's going to be slapped. You thought he had him? I thought he did too. 2 down. Strike 2 to Courtney. Right. Waylon Hargrove on the mound doing a good job here in the 3rd. And strike caught on the foul tip for the 3rd out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on. After 2.5, 5-5. Coming up to bat for the LaCrosse A's. Post 52. Isaac Shelfout had a lot of calls out for him. And the pitcher, number 27, Waylon Hargrove. And number 22, Cullen Pittman. We'll be back here for the bottom of the 3rd. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Welcome back here to the Gus. Bottom of the third inning. Pitcher for Tomah still is Jackson Kunitz. Number 9, Isaac Shelfout. Had a single and scored in the first. Here's his second at bat. Ball 2 from Kunitz. Waylon Hargrove on deck. Ball 3, 3-0 to Shelfout.
I learned that real fast over the last 4 years. Your competitiveness has to go away when you're coaching JV. You just gotta relax and let the game come.
In there for a strike.
Because if you start going, you're gonna drive yourself nuts.
Well, you got to use it as a coaching opportunity, right? To teach the kids how to play the ball game better, right? And that's a whole different mindset.
It's not about wins and
Right, right.
it's about improving.
3-2.
Oh yeah, 100%. I had Risky. I thought Risky was really good.
Here comes the next pitch. Down the middle, popped up in the air. Center fielder got it, has it called for Tomah, and that's going to be an out. Blake Hahn getting underneath it. Oh, no, I take that back. There was a change there. Jackson Steffel over out at center.
A JV coach that understands what your varsity coach is doing.
For the first out, here comes the pitcher, Waylon Hargrove. Ball high. Not sure what the signaling there was going on behind the plate here with, I think he's asking the right fielder to move. That's a good job there. Inside. Ball 2. Here comes the next pitch. Right down the main street there for a strike. 2-1. Here's the next pitch. High, 3-1. With one out, Waylon Hargrove draws the walk. And there was a base runner once again for the LaCrosse A's. One out, runner over at first. Here's the pitch. Outside, good job there by Trapp to snag it and pull it in. Ball 1. Number 22, Cullen Pittman on deck for the A's. Fires over. Kunitz holds the runner. Coach over there for LaCrosse letting him know how to pay attention to the foot. He's been stepping off backwards. Runner takes off, fires it down. Oh, pretty close, but there's going to be a stolen base by Hargrove. 2-0. Here comes the pitch from Kunitz as he's working against Pittman. Runner over at second. Outside, 3-0. Or 23, Marcus Klaar on deck. The number 9 hitter. Here's the pitch. Down low and a walk. That's 2 walks so far here for Kunitz. Left-handed hitting Klaar up. Catcher and Trapp is trying to help set his defense out there. Asking the outfielders to shift. Here comes the pitch. Low inside. Ball 1. That's the 4th, 5th, 6th straight ball that's been thrown. Here comes the pitch. High. 2-0 to Clark. Grounded out to the shortstop in the 1st. Here's the pitch. On the outside. 3-0. Jackson Kunitz struggling a little bit here to find the strike zone. It's really slowed this game down after the 1st. And there's going to be a straight walk again. And bases are loaded based on walks. So coach is going to come out and have a conversation. I'm going to pop over in the chat, see what you think about the split screen shot. If there isn't anyone, let's see what we got there. Gabe Shelfout. Shout out to Isaac Shelfout. Go A's. Glad that Aaron thinks that he likes that split screen. That's good. Could probably make the top one a little bit bigger yet. I think that the one zooming in for the pitching I think is okay. I could get less of a distraction there with a scoreboard, but I think that helps as well. So it's a nice shot that I like that I have added. See if I can figure out where we're at on the pitch counts. Oops, game changer closed on me. One out, bases loaded. Strike 1 to the leadoff hitter, number 8, Cullen Sackman. He's been on twice. Once with a walk and once by a hit pitch. That foul off to the right or to the left-hand side with a left-handed hitter. 1-1. Opportunity here to get the lead back and stretch things out. Fouls that one again off to the left-hand side. Oh, and 2. Nope. 1 and 2, I think it is. Fouls that one off, possibly. Can't get there in time. Is it 0 and 2? Okay. I must have missed a pitch. Got it. 0-2. Here's the pitch. Hit to the right-hand side into the gap. That's going to allow 1 run to score. Second one coming around. 2 runs score for LaCrosse. And a 2-shot single, or 2-run shot single for the Cullen Sackman. Boy, I'm getting a little bit tired here. I can tell that I'm having a hard time even focusing on keeping the book. 7-5 takes off right off the bat. Another stolen base for Sackman. That's his second. See if I can get on this pitch count here. One and 1 is the count to Jacob Thornton, the catcher. He's reached on a walk and on a single. 2 and 1 is the count. Kunitz with this is his 61st pitch. 3 and 1. One out. Runners at second and third. A base hit will score 2 more. And he draws the walk. He's been on all 3 games. Brings up number 4 for the LaCrosse A's, Kyle White. He's the first baseman, flew out to the right fielder. Here's the pitch. Hit right at the middle.
Kyle White.
And that's going to score 2.
He's the first
Gets
baseman.
out to center field trying to make the throw.
First baseman
Cut.
flew out to
the runner
the
held.
right fielder.
Here's the pitch. Hit right at the first base hit there for White. Nice job. Scores another run, making it 8-5. Brings up number 20, Aiden David. He had a single in the first, struck out in the second. I'm trying to see here if everybody has a hit now for LaCrosse. The only 2 that do not have a hit yet are the 8 and 9 hitters for LaCrosse. 0-1 to Aiden David with 1 out. Bases loaded, all kinds of RBIs out there, and he's going to get hit. No place to go, and that's going to be an RBI. Sackman scores for the second time. It's now 9-5. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. That's a 6-12, or a 6-12, I guess you could say, but it's more like a 12-6. Yep. I don't know how he got it to rise like that. Rise ball pitch. Hit on the ground over to the third baseman. He's going to come home, get the out there. Tried to get over at first, unable to do so. Good play there by the third baseman. Teach out gets on the fielder's choice. Gets the force out at home for the second out. Bases are still loaded. And this is Isaac Shelfout's second time in the inning. What happens here if you get 2 outs in an inning? You got the first one on a fly out. I know what happens in softball, and it's not cheap.
Gotta buy burgers?
Ah, something like that. Here's the pitch. 1-1 in there to Shelfout. Especially since we got to change the scorebook to get another batting around the entire lineup. Here's the pitch. On the ground. Shortstop stays down and it tosses on the fielder's choice. It's not going to go that he got the out, so he's safe. Shelfout on the fielder's choice. And the out's going to be put on Teach Out on the 6-4 for the third out. Oh, 9-5. 70 pitches total for Kunitz. Yeah, I don't know where they're sitting right now for pitching for Tomah. So Hargrove is, what has Hargrove got? You can scroll that for me. Yep, 56 for Hargrove. We'll be back here. Just going to grab a quick sip. You're listening to Jeff's Hour here on Jeff's live stream.
Say that kid that throws his third appearance tomorrow. No, Rick said we
Welcome back here. Thanks, Tina Getlinger, getting some information, or getting her out there. Let's go, Tomah. Shout out to Doug Wilds. And then Brandon Pash is pronounced Posh. So we'll make sure that we have that. Posh. So I've heard it now all three ways that it's been shared with me.
Exactly, because I said Posh before, and I could tell that the crowd was making fun of it.
Yep.
Because they were calling
Right. So, right.
That's why I
Hit on the ground. Shortstop. Fielded. Fires across the diamond. And what a dig by the first baseman. Yes, it helps to be on turf, and you get that perfect hop every time. But it still is an amazing play. Shortstop. From the shortstop. Fielded. Fires across the diamond. And what a dig by the first baseman. And this first
Yes,
baseman
it helps to
actually
be on
is a
turf,
better play
and you
on
get that
by popping that out of there. So Trap goes down. Brings up the 9-hitter, Owen Wong. Oh, and 2 to Wong. Nine to 5 here in the top of the fourth. Hargrove still staying out there pitching. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground. Once again, the shortstop stays with it. Fires across the diamond. What a bullet. 6-3 on the putout for the second out. What a cannon Isaac Shelfout has over there at short. Really impressed with those two throws. Hargrove comes up, throws a little bit harder to the leadoff hitter, Blake Hahn. Inside, 2-0. So Hahn has been on base both times and has scored. He wants to keep that streak alive, but he hasn't had 2 outs on him. That's going to be a base hit there. Good shot there by Hahn. Second single, and he walked in the first. See if he's going to get on his horse and get going here, but you got Gunnar Wolpott behind him, who also has had a single and a double. Wolpott would certainly love to have a triple right here and stay that cycle in play. Here's the pitch on the outside edge there for a strike. Not much he would have been able to do with it except for slap it to the right-hand side. It's not a lot of skill that they work on him. I talked to Caleb. He said that they did a lot of that. He asked for outside pitches so he could take and slap those to the right-hand side. 0-1. It's going to be 1-1 now to Wolpott. This Tomah team has done a really good job of representing so far here in the tournament. That's why they're still 2-0. I was very impressed having conversations out there with those gentlemen. Two and 1 is the count with 2 outs. Wolpott at the plate. Hargrove ready to deal. Slap that one to the right-hand side. That's going to be out of play. 2-2. Deuces are wild up on the scoreboard. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. 21 Wolpott at the plate. Runner takes off. Throw coming down, almost. Took a little bit of a funny hop with the English that the catcher had, so a good job stealing the base for Blake. Take away the force at least, and it's a full count. The LaCrosse A's from post 52 with a 4-run lead. Here's the top of the fourth coming in. Base came off on the stolen base, so they're trying to get all of the little rubber BBs out of the way so they can get that base back on there, the magnetic base. It's on there. Full count, 2 outs. Here's the pitch. In low, draws the walk. Once again, that's the 3rd time that Gunnar Wolpat's been on base. He scored in the first, got stuck at 3rd in the 2nd. Brings up number 24, Tucker Franson, the first baseman. He had his first hit. Nope, take that back, he did not. I was looking at one of the other players. Flew out to right, grounded out to the shortstop. And what I'm seeing here, you don't want to get that ball anywhere near shelf out. 2-0. With 2 outs to Franson. Here's the pitch. Slap to the first baseman. It stays down on it, and a good job there to Franson. For LaCrosse's first baseman, Kyle White. Franson goes down 3 unassisted for the 3rd out. Slap to the first baseman. It stays down on it, and a good job there. 1 hit, no errors, and 2 left on. Take care, Sammy. Coming up to bat for LaCrosse. Number 27, the pitcher, Waylon Hargrove. Number 22, Colin Pittman. And number 23, Marcus Clar. We'll be back. You're listening to Jeff's Hour here on Jeff's live stream. Welcome back here to the Gus in Waupun, Wisconsin. 16U American Legion State Tournament 2023. Excuse me there. 1 pitch into Hargrove. Hammered over to the right side on that breaking ball. Good piece of hitting there by the pitcher for a base hit. That's his 2nd hit. Pittman and Clar looking for hits yet on the LaCrosse team. Otherwise, everybody else has a hit. Stepping in, number 22, Colin Pittman. Clar will be on deck. Ball a little bit high to Pittman. Here in the bottom of the 4th. That's in there for a strike. Pittman knew it. He checked it a little bit, just let it go. Kunitz now sitting at 74 pitches. Takes off. Hit on the ground like a swinging bunt almost. Gets out. The runner makes it over to second. 1-3 on the putout. Brings up the number 9 hitter in the lineup, number 23, Marcus Clar. Waiting to find out the final results of this game, and then we'll be able to set what Monday looks like. Here's the pitch. Outside for a ball. 1-0 with 1 out. Runner over at second is the pitcher, Waylon Hargrove. Here's the next pitch. In there for a strike by Jackson Kunitz. Came in relief at the end of the first. Here's the pitch. Inside, 2-1. Clark looking for a hit in this game. Grounded out to the shortstop and walked in the third. Scored on the outside edge, 2-2. Here's the pitch. Outside, makes it a full count. I know Kunitz wants to work your hitters here, but he's running out of pitches. Yeah, LaCrosse is getting the win play, yes. If they win, yep. The winner will stay there for the late game. Draws the walk. Cullen Sackman, the top of the order, coming back up, center fielder, number 8 for LaCrosse. I think we've had that almost happen every time. I think we had 2 national games where we've had the same situation. Couldn't set the game schedule. I know we had it when we went to Waupun. And I think we had it happen here with a state tournament as well. On the outside edge, 2-0 to Sackman. He's been on base all 3 times. Runners at first and second, inside, 3-0. Here's the next pitch. In there for a strike. 3-1. Is that the 84th pitch? High, walks him. Bases are loaded. Brings up number 3, the catcher, Jacob Thornton. He has been on all 3 times. Got put out at the plate last time. And a new pitcher coming in. That's going to be Gavin Courtney. We're going to step away while he's warming up. So a good pat on the back by coach to Jackson Kunitz. He's going to probably take off the DH is my guess. But they're going to have to pull somebody. Oh, they're going to pull the right fielder. So Brigham's going to come out of the game. Kunitz will go to right. And 20's done. Yeah. That just takes off the DH, it looks like to me. So I don't know how they do that on the subbing. I'm not sure. We're going to step aside. We'll be back. You're listening to Jeff Sauer here on Jeff's live stream. Pitching change for Tomah, post 201. Welcome back here to the Gus. New pitcher coming in. First pitch is in there, first strike. That's going to be off the end of the bat. Carries in there for a Texas League drop. Oh, could have possibly scored the run. Nice heads-up job there by Jacob Thornton, taking that pitch on the outside, just slapping it off the end of the bat and getting his second hit of the game. Brings up number 4, the first baseman, Kyle White. Run scores, so an RBI also for Thornton makes it 10-5. There's the pitch. Whoa! Good thing he tucked that belly in there. Almost scraped the shirt still hanging out there, but missed it. Ball 1. Puts him back on his toes a little bit here, but nope, he walks right up, puts his foot right back on the inside. That's going to get away. Not very far, though. Bases loaded, 1 out. I'm not sure really if they're at double play depth or not. I think they might be at short here. White had a hit the last time. He was up and got all the way over to third. Was his first hit. 3-0 is the count. In there for strike 3-1. Kunitz exits the game with 86 pitches. 43 of them were strikes, so exactly at 50% on the strike percentage. Shoe came on tied over at first, giving him a chance to get that shoe tightened up. Yep. 3-2 to White. Here's the pitch. Walks him. And he's going to get an RBI on that walk. 11-5. There's no mercy rule in the 4th, is there? No? I asked because I did not know that there was a mercy rule for softball. It was 20 runs in the 3rd, 15 in the 4th, 10 in the 5th. So the only reason I know that is because Waupun girls, American Legion Post 210, played Sparta yesterday, and in the second game it was 27-3. And it was called after 3 innings. Brings up number 20, Aiden David. 1-1 is the count with 1 out. Hit off the end of the bat towards the right side of the field. Right fielder coming in, second baseman drops it. And it gets a single. Force out. Nope, he's in at second. And the run scores. Good base running there. Sackman comes across. David gets a base hit for the second hit of the game. Got a whole bunch of hitters here. No, right fielder should have had that all day long. Yep. Brings up number 10, Landon Teachout. Still with only 1 out. 12-5. One nothing. It's the pitch from Courtney. In the dirt. 2-0. Yeah. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike. 2-1. Here's the pitch. Breaking ball. Hit over to the second baseman. Fields it cleanly. Instead of trying for the double play, surprising. Gets the force out at first, but another run's going to score. So teach out on the fielder's choice. 4-3 for the second out. And here's the ninth hitter once again in the inning. Number 9, Isaac Shelfout, the shortstop. Again, I've been very impressed with the way he's thrown the ball. Not sure what's taking place here. Looks like he's got a pinch runner coming in, number 7. Coming in for Aiden David, right, number 20. 7 is Thomas Begnevsky coming in to run. See if he stays in. First pitch in there to Shelfout is a ball. So pinch runners Begnevsky, sorry about that. 2-0 for Courtney. And throwing it to Shelfout. He's the 9th hitter in this inning. It's in there for a strike, 2-1. He had his hit in the first, flew out to the center. Fielder's choice last inning. Otherwise, he would have had both outs. See, they had batted around +1. And Shelfout again sitting here in the spot for a possible third out. 3-2 with 2 outs. Runner at second and third. It's already 13-5. Fouls that one off, went way up for it. Fouls that one off. Here's the pitch, hit off to the right-hand side, and he's going to fly out to the right fielder for the third out. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left on. And after 4, 13-5. We're going to step aside. I'm going to check out the chat. Tomah needs to get their bats rolling here in the top of the 5th to see if they can put themselves back into this game. Trailing by 8. Could be over at the end of 5 if Tomah can't get those bats rolling from post 201. We'll be back. Welcome back here. Tomah coach told us just to pay attention. We're going to get a bunch of kids coming in to do some hitting. So coming in for number 3 is going to be number 13. Getting a chance to hit here in the state tournament. That's going to be Robert Shaw. Great time to get some experience for their players. Conceding, which again, I know there's going to be some questions about it, but it is what it is. Yeah, down by 8 here in the 4th Yeah, do you want to keep battling and fighting to get back? But you've run into a pretty decent pitcher in Hargrove who's been able to keep things rolling along. And he's only at his 80th pitch. Fly out to the left fielder, so I think it's a valuable experience here for some hitters. 1 out. It's going to bring up number 23 coming in for Kunitz, Ethan Davis. Strike there for Davis. 0-1 with 1 out. Here's the pitch on the outside edge there for a strike. 0-2. Hargrave was able to paint that corner. Here's the pitch. Strike 3. And he strikes out swinging for the second out. No. Number 42? I don't have that. Oh, number 4. Okay, Kasten Gazda. Coming in to get a chance to hit. 0-1. Makes contact to the right side. Forces the pitcher to cover on the infield hit. Not in ball hit to the infielder. 3-1 on the putout for the third out. No runs, no hits, no errors, and nobody on. After 4.5, 13-5. So we'll see what's going to happen here with the LaCrosse team. Maybe that is that Rick? No. No, lots of trouble.
$75.
Thanks.
All right, everybody get out your 50-50 ticket.
Yeah, he said he was going to be here to the end, so I believe it should be Witten.
$5.
Welcome back here to the Gus as we get ready here for the bottom of the 5th inning.
Yep, that's the way it's going to go.
So I'll make sure to post that on my live stream too and announce it so teams will know. Right, it does, yeah, which is strange, but yep, it does. Here's the pitch on the outside. New pitcher coming in is number 5, Colin Ritter. Ball 1 in the dirt, 2-0 for Ritter as he's pitching to Hargrove. The pitcher who started things off in the last inning is up to bat once again. Ahead 2-0. Just Pittman and Clark need to look, see if they can get their hits, and everybody in the starting lineup would have a hit. On the outside edge for a strike, 2-1. Here's the pitch in the dirt. 3-1. So here comes the pitch. On the outside, draws the walk. It's going to bring up number 22, Cullen Pittman. 21, 22. Less than 30, just put. Here's the pitch. In there for a strike to Pittman. Pittman looking for a base hit here. Hasn't had one yet in the game. Here's the pitch, runner taken off. Gets into second safely. Should be probably having a good opportunity to steal on the new pitcher in here. And yes, yeah, don't think you should, but they're ahead by 8. If they can get ahead by 10, that ends the game here. So I agree with the stolen bases and trying to keep playing to get out of here early. Some of them can head home then and get a good night's sleep in their own bed. And then travel back here since the first game tomorrow will be at 4 o'clock. 1-2 to Pittman. Here's the pitch. Knocked off of the ground. Going to be tagged out by Ryder. Marcus Clark coming up to bat now. He's also looking for his first hit. So Pittman is going to go hitless in this game. 1 unassisted for the first out. It did allow for Hargrove to advance. Inside edge for a strike. Nope, ball. Thought it was going to give him that strike. 1-0. Was about the right height, and I know that typically, let's see, I can see the LaCrosse is backed off a little bit, but they typically have those toes right on the edge. Knocked down there by Trapp. 2-0. From the stretch. Here comes the pitch. Inside. 3-0. Runner sitting over at third with only 1 out. LaCrosse needs to push 2 across to end the game. Here in the bottom of the 5th. It's not the appearance that Tomah was hoping for, and they thought they were probably going to be able to do. And it's ball 4. Clark draws the walk. So he's been on 3 times, all 3 times by the walk, so he has scored 3 times. It's going to bring up number 8, Cullen Sackman, who has been on base all 4 times that he's been up. Matched also by Jacob Thornton. Runner takes off. Fired down. Bounces. That's going to allow the run to score. Nope. Wow. Surprising that he didn't try to take off. Yes, that too. Runners at second and third. A base hit here is going to end the game. Sackman, 1-0 is the count. Breaking ball on the outside edge. There was a good one sweeping in there. 1-1. And a hit in the gap, and that's going to score 2, and that's going to do it. I know Sackman's going to try and push the triple, but he doesn't really need to, as the game is already over. And that's the game. And I don't think I'm going to do an interview for this game. Just not sure who I would select it from here.
Second hit brings in
15-5. LaCrosse beats Tomah. Triple for Sackman on the end here. So I'm just trying to take a look here. I don't think he had a double, so otherwise he would have been close to the cycle, but he was on base all 5 times. Got over to second base on a balk in the second. And that's going to do that here.
5 hits. No errors. Base ran 4. For LaCrosse, 15 runs, 11 hits, 1 error.
15 runs, 11 hits, 1 error. And
so your bracket is officially set for tomorrow. Wittenberg will play Tomah at 4 o'clock.
so the bracket has been set. So I'm going to also post it here right across this last screen here so that everybody is able to see it. So if you come back and you watch this, it's going to be move this text bit over here. I'll check the chat here. I'm not going to do an interview, so I know some of you are looking forward to that, and my apologies. I'm just not sure. There's numerous players who could get it from LaCrosse, so I'm not going to make that choice. But here's the lineup for tomorrow. Wittenberg versus Tomah at 4 o'clock here at the Gus. That's an elimination game. The loser will be out. The next game for tomorrow will be LaCrosse will play Seymour. And if LaCrosse loses, I believe they still advance to the championship game because that would be their first loss. And they'll be playing at 6:30 here from the Gus in Waupun. Both games will be live streamed. And then let's see if I can get that also to put on here the way.
That's up to you. You're the one creating all the controversy.
And then, And so these are the games set up for tomorrow. Wittenberg versus Tomah at 4 o'clock. That's an elimination game. The loser will go home. LaCrosse will take on Seymour at 6:30. If LaCrosse wins, Seymour is eliminated. If LaCrosse loses, they still advance to the second game on Tuesday. So either way, LaCrosse is in the championship game. It's whether they're going to play as the second game or the first game, or do we have to have 2 games on Tuesday for LaCrosse. So congratulations to LaCrosse. Post 52, advancing. Wittenberg post 502. Burnham Wood post 341. Will take on Tomah 201. And that will be at 4 o'clock. LaCrosse post 52 takes on Seymour post 201, I think. Let me just double check that here. I want to make sure I get the right shout out. Seymour is 106. They'll be on at 6:30. So we'll be down here ready to go, get everything set up by around 3 o'clock. Maybe a little bit earlier. I'd just like to make sure all the equipment is up and running. And that's going to do it here. Let me just double check the chat here. Savannah Utesh is wondering what's the score. It was posted there. Sorry, I did not see this earlier. Jacob Stahlheim says, go Tomah, go TJ and Cole. Carol Anton says, what's the score? I'm surprised. I wonder if the scoreboard went off, that you missed it. Sorry about that. Seymour already played LaCrosse. That is true, Kyle. But the way that it is set up, you go backwards in the bracketing to the last or first team that was played, or the longest amount of time that's passed between the two teams, and it happens to be LaCrosse also had played Wittenberg, but they just played Wittenberg, so that's why it's going back to playing Seymour, because they played on Friday. See you, Scotty. So thanks again for following along in the chat. I really do appreciate it. And I do want to thank everybody out there that's been able to donate to the Venmo, as I didn't get a chance to mention it in this game, but I've had 3 young men who've been coming along with me and trying to learn how to do this broadcasting thing, and I think they keep getting better and better, and they are they're college boys. My son and 2 of his friends that actually played baseball here in Waupun, all of them having played in numerous American Legion state tournaments, a lot of experience. One still pitching for UW Parkside, and just trying to help me grow the game here of live streaming, and then helping them out with some college funds. So I'm hoping that you find it, and if you cannot pay me a Venmo donation, then what I do ask is that you please, on the YouTube channel, subscribe to my channel so I can push my number over 1,000. And once I get over 1,000, then I can start drawing a little bit of income for ads that are played by YouTube. So thanks again for watching. I'm looking forward to tomorrow, Wittenberg, Tomah, LaCrosse, Seymour. So these 2 teams will be back at it, and Wittenberg and Seymour. So looking at this, that top half of the bracket was a pretty tough bracket to come through for this tournament. So hope that you've enjoyed it.